Welcome to the Janet Quinney Lawson Capitol Theater. This theater has been at the center of the Salt Lake arts and culture community since its opening in 1913 as the Orpheum Theater. Originally a vaudeville house, the Orpheum offered the highest standard in acts and the greatest stars of the stage. More than 100 years later, the venue continues to host exceptional events and performers. The Janet Quinney Lawson Capitol Theater is located on 50 West and 200 South. Convenient parking locations can be found all around the theater. UTA Tracks also has a station near Gallivan Center, about a block away. The main entrance to the theater is on 200 South. The doors are slightly heavy to open, but there is an additional entrance with automatic doors on the west side of the venue. If you need to pick up your tickets, the ticket office entrance is on the east side. Tickets are available digitally or can be physically printed. The ticket office opens 90 minutes before showtime and closes 30 minutes after the show starts. If you require curbside assistance, the drop-off location would be directly in front of the theater on 200 South. Our patron services staff will meet and assist you into the venue. This service can be arranged through ArtTix. The main lobby entrance can be quite full, so entering on the west side to avoid tight crowds is suggested. In the lobby, you will hear announcements, light lobby music, and people talking. To announce the theater opening, you will hear loud bells. If you need to take a break from the performance or lobby crowds, the house manager can direct you to quieter spaces. On the main level, you will find patron services, concessions, and the gift shop. The gift shop has wide aisles and low counters that allow for wheelchairs and other mobility devices to navigate easily. At patron services, you can find assistive listening devices, earplugs, weighted lap pads, booster cushions, sound dampening headsets, and fidgets. Braille and large print programs are also available here. At some performances, sensory pods may be available. We distribute these items free of charge and on a first-come, first-served basis. At concessions, you will find a variety of snacks and drinks, but please note that beverages must have a lid to go in the theater. Alcohol is usually not allowed depending on the performance. There are 4 levels of seating at Capitol Theater: orchestra, grand tier, mezzanine, and the balcony. If you are seated on the orchestra level, you may enter on the main floor. Unless you have a mobility device, the ramped entrance is located down the hallway on the west side of the lobby. To access the grand tier, mezzanine, or balcony, there are 2 elevators or 2 staircases you can choose from. If you have a mobility device and are seated in the balcony, it is recommended you use the West Capitol elevator. Seats in the grand tier, mezzanine, and balcony have steep steps and tight spaces between rows. If you need extra legroom, seating on the orchestra level or box seating is recommended. We also have multiple larger seat options available for patrons. Restrooms are located on each level of the theater. There is one family and gender-neutral restroom with a changing table on the main level near the long-ramped hallway. None of the restrooms have automatic flushing toilets. However, washing sinks are a mixture of automatic and manual. Please note that depending on crowds, restrooms may reverberate sound. When you are ready to enter the theater, an usher will scan your ticket. You will see a bright red light and hear a beeping noise. The usher will then direct you to your section. You will then enter the sound and light lock. The lights are usually dimmed in the sound and light lock, so please watch your step. If you arrive after the show has begun, you may be asked to wait until an appropriate time to enter the theater and seated in an alternate location until intermission. Playbills for most shows are distributed by ushers or in shelves on every level just outside each entrance to the theater. During opera performances, captions or super titles are projected above the stage for all performances. There are emergency exits on the west and east side of the theater as well as the main entrances. Please remember, in an emergency, it is possible, due to circumstances, you may not be able to exit the venue in the same way you came in. The Janet Quinney Lawson Capitol Theater has 14 wheelchair-accessible seating locations dispersed on the orchestra level and balcony. There are also 14 aisle transfer seats. Transfer seats are reserved for guests with limited mobility. The seat is always on an aisle and has a movable folding arm to allow easy access to the seat. Please contact the ticket office if you have any questions about these seats. We hope you enjoy your time at the Janet Quinney Lawson Capitol Theater. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions at all.